Oh, hello, folks, and welcome to ChaosVille. God, I don't even know what episode this is. The way I've been editing them has been so sloppy, I confess. But I'm having a good time. I'm having a good... Wait, spider? Well, it's so many spiders. Where are these guys all coming from? In their lag spider. Lag spider! Lag spider! Oh, God! Lag spider! I don't know what just happened. Okay. Okay. Well, folks, as you can see, I have learned a lot and gained a lot between the last episodes. For one, I've got a lot of Spanish moss, and it grows, and it droops, and it spreads, and I put it in front of my door thinking that'd be cute. Don't do it. It's just annoying. Similarly, I've got a hawthorn tree, which has rowan leaves, interestingly enough. I don't really get that. I don't know if that's good or bad, or if I did something wrong. We got rowan leaves over here for a rowan tree. And we have more over here. And I also happen to have one viable, it grew up, hawthorn leaf. It's weird. It's like rowan leaves on the bottom and then hawthorn. I don't even know. And then a, maybe it's just Wilo messing up, but that's alder. So that's the last of the trees. So I actually have all three trees. Which means I could probably start doing some pretty sweet magic if I put my mind to it. But I also have a lot of other stuff to do, so I'm not sure yet how I want to proceed. Let's take a look at what we got in here. I also took a little bit of time to make another one of my hexagons. This one's connected via kind of a glass tube of some sort. I thought about digging underneath, but it doesn't look all that cool, and my chunk loader's hidden in there. Oh, and the other thing I learned, which is actually really fortuitous, I didn't know this, but it turns out these glint weeds spread on their own, and they just kind of get out of control, but it's really cool in a snow biome because the light drives the snow back. I'm not sure which is worse, this ugly little weeds or the snow, but certainly if I can find some way to tame this, I'm going to actually be able to deal with the snow, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, I think probably the first thing I want to do is make a sickle and start chopping these trees down, because let's face it, we're pretty close to being able to do some cool stuff here. Let me just go ahead and toss this stuff and grab a little bit of spruce wood here. You know what? No, let's use this useless rubber wood. Way worse wood, but no problem. Got our jungle planks, and what we want to do is just we want to grab a little bit of metal, I guess, from over here, and go ahead and make a I think we can go ahead and make just an iron sickle. Because what we actually need to do here is chop down some trees. Let's also grab a little bit more, just so that we have enough. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about how we're going to go forward here, because this is like the point in Witchery where I've never gotten past. I haven't even gotten all these trees before, so how cool is this? I'm really excited when I get to play new content and not the older content. Like, it isn't just because I'm being a jerk or somehow like, oh, I'm so cool, that I end up with like this strong desire to play new content. It's because I'm genuinely bored if I don't play new content. Okay, iron sickle. Let's see if we can possibly do another axe too. Yeah, it's genuinely bored. Because let's face it, if I don't get to play new stuff, I mean, I ask myself, what's the point? And then let's get a little bit of nerd pollen wood here. So I think the first thing we're going to do is take on this hawthorn tree, because we don't have that many. Let's hope we get some saplings here. Nerd pole. A pole for nerds. Yeah, these hawthorn trees, they're really, really fertile. I got 15 saplings off of one. So now, I don't know, I can make all these awesome... Oh, I can make brooms. Oh, that's what these are for. And then these bundles, wicker bundles? What are wicker bundles they're used for? Bloodied wicker bundles. Uh-oh. I don't even know what that's about, but that's pretty awesome. Let's see if we can cut down. Oh, this spruce. Doesn't look remarkable, but as you can see, the tile leaves, look at Wila up at the top of the center screen. It's actually a forestry tree. I accidentally bred one, which reminds me, we got to get to breeding forestry trees. So for sure, that's going to happen up next. Let's go ahead and chop down this rowan tree next. Just give me a moment to nerd pole up there. And... go ahead and cut this guy down. And the best part about this is that my one of the things I love is that this sickle really is a very durable. Oh wow, look at this, so many saplings. It's not even a challenge. Come on, guys. Fruit? What the heck is it? Did I get something awesome, or did it fall? Oh, there it is. Rowan berries. What do these do? Do they do anything? Can I eat them? Do they make me sick? I'll have to see in a sec when I'm hungry. Right. Well, so far we're doing really good on the things. So let's leave these trees up since they are currently a platform for lots and lots of Spanish moss. And let's go over here and cut down these special trees. Now, it's interesting. Well, whoa, no! Oh, no! Oh, not again! Oh, these lag spiders are the worst! Oh, I don't even have my sword out. What's my problem? Ooh, spider eye. All right, well, hold on a second while I do the dangerous thing. And why are all these spiders coming out of nowhere? I've never seen a spider before. And suddenly it's just Spider Town, population spider. It's the worst. Oh, boy. Maybe I should go spend the night, sleep tonight. Jeez, these persistent zombies. Ugh. Well, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Gonna get some hawthorn. Gonna be awesome. Oh yeah, I gotta start breeding some trees. Don't let me forget that. I should go put that on my list because I want to get some awesome trees. I started that in season 5, but never really got anywhere with it. Okay, and here's the last of the trees, the alder, which I think should be good. I think this is gonna be fantastic. Why wouldn't it be fantastic, right? All the other trees have just been simply amazing. So let's. I also love the colors. Whoever did this, like, it's so easy to make, like, ugly trees in Minecraft and just be like, oh, whatever, it's just ugly. Alderwood. Okay. I don't know what any of these things do or what they're for. I'm so excited. But the wood types are definitely cool looking. I could definitely build an interesting house. So that's a little fleshy. That could be good. I have a lot of rowan wood. Okay, so that's not too bad. It's kind of a greenish. And then what about the hawthorn? Is that as pale as it looks? Oh, look at that. It's like a pale wood. Oh, that's definitely cool. That's definitely something to do some work with. Oh, I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm hungry now. What do these berries do? Oh, I was hoping there'd be some weird potion effect. Oh well, down the hatch. Let's see, do they have any uses? They have none. Let's just kind of keep it there. Alright, so looking at my list. Tree breeding, dude. We're kind of doing good for mushrooms. We're gonna do dark magic, better ore processing, auto mining, nuclear reactor, faster growing farm. You know, it occurs to me that something I'm going to need for a lot of these recipes is glowstone. And I really don't have any way to get to the nether right now. I should probably just knuckle down and go gather up the stuff I need to make that work. Because let's face it, it's just, there's no reason not to go do that at this point in the game. It's one of those funny things where it's always so tedious, and then you realize, oh, actually, it's really, really easy to go there. Before I go, though, I'm going to toss this yellowite in. I'm definitely ready to use that soon. So let's just go ahead and make ourselves a diamond pick. Ring. Pretty nice pick, as picks go. Not the best pick, but certainly not the worst. And I'm going to head down to... Well, I guess I'll need a bucket before I head down. I'm going to head down and see if I can do anything about... Ooh, wow, look at the Spanish moss is starting to grow down this... That's going to be really cool when it happens. Alright, well, I'm going to go get some obsidian. It's about as fun as watching paint dry, so... Oh, why did I fall? Oh! Okay, about as much fun as watching paint dry, so I'm going to go and mine some obsidian. I'll be right back. Alright, folks, I think I have what I need to do this, and I thought maybe it'd be cute to take that little tunnel I used in the first area. It's about the right size for a nether portal. All I have to do is trim it down a little bit, and this is kind of my own little bridge to Terabithia if Terabithia was actually hell. So I think that might actually be really fun. So yeah, and then I brought a little bit of marble, which might be able to kind of give it a bit more of a fancy feel. So yeah, let me just finish up this build part right here. We'll make a nice, efficient nether portal. Yeah. Now, to give it a little bit of a fancier touch. One of the reasons that I stopped using the Sphax pack that many others of the people that are on this server use is because I sort of didn't like how how it didn't work very well with chisel. Quite frankly, I think that well, I mean, Sphax is great, but for my money, it's like as good to have chisel, if not actually better. Chisel is really, really, really good, and they've only gotten better over time as they figured out more connected textures, and the dev has really gotten just fantastically skilled at making things look really amazing. So I'm not sure why I would actually want to go back to this Sphax pack. Add in the fact that it just absolutely murders my frame rate. I don't know if you saw, but it was pretty jerky even compared to my old videos. Sometimes it would just completely break, and that was no fun at all. So, you know, ugh, I hate when I miss like that. Wish I was El Rey and could never miss. Almost done. And done it. What? What the... God, what is with the monsters this episode? Ugh. Okay, that's done. I'll have to come up with some cool lighting for it. I think that's not going to be too hard, though, because it's a pretty cool setting. All right, now I think... Yeah, it works just fine. Oh, yeah, that looks really good. It's just kind of random, too. I love it. Like, how's it look from the other side? I haven't even checked. Maybe I'll need to make it a bit more prominent. Oh, yeah. We definitely need to make this a little bit cleaner. But that's pretty sweet. Oh, my God. Look at this thing. This is just nuts. Okay, well, hopefully... I'm far enough away from everybody else. I think there's no one in here, and that septum's way, way over there. So hopefully, I'm covered here. Let's just step through and see what we got. Need to go deeper. Oh, no. I collided with someone else's freaking... That's awful. All right, well, I will have to figure it out, I guess. Maybe I could make a Mistcraft book to teleport back to my place. Oh, wow, look at already ores. So, do you guys know what happens when you mine these? Let's make a little bit of a game of it, huh? I could use some copper. Whoa. Ow. 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 Jeez. I didn't even hear it. Where was it? It was a creeper. I couldn't even... Ugh. Well, that's just fantastic. This is not going well. So, maybe what I'm going to do... is God, there's so much. This is such a weird biome. It's so plain. And then what are these? This is Block Leaves name. Oh, this must be like a broken, like a hellwood tree or something like that. Oh well, time to make the best of things and gather up all this glowstone as best we can. Folks, I'll be right back as soon as I gather up this glowstone, which, as we all know, is not the most exciting of processes, but it must be done for evil and science. Alright folks, well mining here is sort of fruitless, I confess. Everything keeps blowing up on me. But I really did want to see if I could find some nether quartz before I head back. I do have about a stack and a half and a little bit more other stuff. Maybe if I could just find some nether quartz. That stuff is super useful. I saw some nether quartz, but I looked down there and oh god, they're such large spiders. Why would anyone make spiders that big? Please don't pull me down there with your spidery spiders and your spiderosity and your spidertronics. Okay, here's some safer. Ugh, I can't even get over the fact that there are spiders that big down there. I just know they want me. I really hope they aren't going to like swim up here and ruin my night. Alright folks, my inventory is about full up and I'm still pretty terrified that I'm going to run across something scary. Like these giant spiders, which they seem to have become smaller spiders. Okay, well that's weird. But yeah, I don't want to mess with them any more than I have to, so I am getting the heck out of here. Oh, look, there's another really simple to access. God, I don't want to get greedy, though. My big fear here, folks, is that I have no idea what's going to happen on the other side of that portal. I'm afraid I'm going to have a long walk at night, and maybe it's in someone else's base, and I don't really have the equipment to go walking. I only have one loaf of bread left in my provisions. Didn't plan this very well, I do confess. Ooh. However, I do think I'll be able to make it back. This is my first time to the rodeo. Wow, look at this really big. How did I not see this when I was leaving? Oh, well. Alright, let's see what's about to happen. Oh, this is Gar's house. Hello, Gar's house. How could I be possibly... Was I actually closer than I thought? Oh, wow, look, I'm not far from Gar's house at all. I thought I was much further than that. Huh. That's interesting. Well, good to know, good to know. Hello, Gar. I guess we're neighbors by accident. Terribly sorry about that. Don't want to spoil anything. Definitely would be bad form. Let's see where that book goes. One-way travel is the worst kind of travel, but... Where is this? Where is... What the heck is this place? I don't think I know this place. Where are we in relation? Well, this is cool. This is cool. I don't want to spoil anybody's stuff, so I'm going to go off camera for a bit. All right, folks. Well, I managed to make it back. That was quite a trek. As you can see, I had to go from all the way over there across these tainted snowy lands, and it was something else. But it all worked out for the best, and I've actually done a few things while I've been gone, because I was looking at what we should do next, and I figure renewable power is pretty high on the list, because I want to take these bees somewhere, I want to take these mushrooms somewhere, and all these things I've been working on, all these like farms. Without power, there's not a lot I can do with them. So what I did was I ran down here and I built a basement. Now this is not the most beautiful of rooms. It is just a mirror of what's up above. I will make it a prettier room soon, probably off camera. But this is where I think our renewable power is going to go. Now, I've chosen initially to go with steam and charcoal as our fuel source. So what I'm going to do is take about a bunch of this stuff. I'll need a little bit of wood for my build, but most of it I don't. I'm going to go ahead and cook that up. Now, I also need to grab out of here something I set up to start cooking off these electrum ingots. Now, what we're going to be doing here, I should grab some silver. In addition, maybe a little bit of gold, and anything else? I don't think so. Oh no, some lead. For sure, some lead. And I have redstone. What we're going to be doing here is working on something a little bit different than what we were doing before. What I'd like to do is build some steam dynamos. So there's these things here. Now these are the thermal expansion dynamos. They generate about 8 mine joules a tick, or 80 RF a tick. And they're pretty good. They work great. They need a source of water, and they need a source of coal, like or a source of burnable. Now, there's a whole bunch of tricks we can play with that burnable. But for now, I think we'll be fine with a little bit. Well, I think that'll be enough copper for now. I think we'll be fine with a little bit of a more Spartan approach. But we are going to try and mix it up just a little bit. Let's go ahead and pull this stuff out for now. We might need this, but we definitely don't need that. Definitely won't need that. Okay. So, what we'd like to do first is, obviously, for these dynamos, we're going to need to make some of these transmission coils. So let's go ahead, clear this out, and just make. Let's start by making, I don't know, 4 engines should be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And I will just let me craft these off camera, because as you can see, it's going to go pretty fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, right. So those will be the power source. Now, we also obviously need a way to, well, what we need is some glass, because what we need is a way to get water into those things. Now, there's a few ways we could go about doing it, but I have a plan, trust me. But we will need to at least make one source of water. And I think the best way to do that is an aqueous accumulator, which is another thermal expansion block. We will need a bucket really fast, of course. And then I think we should just have almost everything we need. But we need these machine frames. And we're going to need a lot of these machine frames. Now, we're not going to be using steel, even though we could. And in fact, that'll be fine. What we're also going to do is click the schematic and say write schematic. Because I think I'm going to be making a bunch of these. So now, let's see if we can go write schematic. Are you going to be my friend here? There. No. How about this? There we go, machine frame. So now I can call that back up. I can clear the crafting grid, and then I could say, when I select that one, I can fill it. So we're going to need at least one of these to start. A little bit lag there, I guess. There we go. Now, other than that, we will need one of these servos, which is, again, not too tough to make. We'll go ahead and pull these chests out for just a moment. And that should actually be everything to make an aqueous accumulator. Hooray. Right, so now I have a source of water, or rather I will as soon as I put this down. I have some steam dynamos. What we also need is a way to get things into these. Right, well, for one, we're going to need a place to put all this water. So let's just go ahead and make a buildcraft tank. No need to get fancy here. Just a buildcraft tank can hold the water for us, right? And then what we need to do is figure out a way to move the water around, move the charcoal they're going to be generating around. All these things and more need to be moved around. I think that there's a couple ways we could do it. We could use item ducts, we could use pipes, we could use logistics pipes, we could use Project Red's new item transport system. Those are all super cool. But I think I want to kind of, there's one mod I didn't get enough to get a chance to play with my Resonant Rise season last, and I really want to play with it more. And even the Resonant Rise experimental branch has an even fresher version that's really cool. It's called, you may have seen this earlier, Steve's Factory Manager. Steve's Factory Manager. It only consists of 2 blocks, but they're really cool blocks. We're going to need a few of these. So let's go ahead and toss in at least 4 of these. And then let's go ahead and make this recipe. That should be probably enough. We'll see. And then finally, we want to make one of these. Now, this requires some stuff, right? Most notably, a block of redstone, which is not something you tend to keep around on hand. And then it also requires a piston. Now, we actually have a piston set up right here. So let's go ahead and clear, grab, piston. No, this lag is annoying with this block. I gotta tell you, I'm kind of unimpressed with this. Now, we do need 2 stone. We do happen to have 2 right here. Let's go ahead and just toss the rest in. And boom. We could probably stand to make some more of the cables, but you'll see why in a little bit, because this won't be too bad. Finally, while we're going to be setting all this up, what I need to do is start making some invar, because I really do want to have, you know, and we may even want to do that. Well, you know what? Tell you what. First, we're going to generate the power. So give me just a moment to start laying things out downstairs. All right, folks. So as you can see, I've set up a little ring of these inventory cables and the machine inventory manager. We'll get to exactly what's going on here in a sec, but the goal is to connect to those power pipes up there with an energy cell that's always full and intelligently full. We want to intelligently and carefully burn our fuel. We don't want to just crassly burn all our fuel all the time like we are with that lava system up there, which, while easy, is definitely not a great plan overall. So I think the first thing we're going to do is just kind of toss these things down here, right? Like so. I think that'll do well. And we can extend this build later on. You'll see that this build is actually quite extensible, which is a really nice property to have on a build, I think anyways. But the first thing we want to do is just get the water sorted. So let's go ahead and drop down our aqueous accumulator. Now, it's a pretty simple device. It doesn't have a lot of requirements. It just needs 2 adjacent water source blocks, and that will start filling it up. Now, Steve's Factory Manager can't quite decipher what's going on with this aqueous accumulator. It's just kind of a strange beast because of the way it generates water. So we've got a Buildcraft tank here, which is easy for it to understand. And as you can see, the tank is quickly filling up. If you look at the wireless tip up top, boom, done. We're basically constantly filling up water. Now, if we look in our Steve's Factory Manager, if you haven't seen this before, by the way, this thing, check out some of the other mods, check some other things. It's an amazing system. But let's say we wanted to move some fluid. We'll create a liquid condition. Nah, let's just go ahead and say create a trigger. Let's say once every, I don't know, 5 seconds. Doesn't have to be too often. We would like to create an input. Well, we'd like to create a liquid input. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. A liquid input. Drag those 2 together. A tank, which is this tank right here. And really, that's all we have to do for that. It's pretty straightforward. We want to have the input tank, and we can take it from the top. Doesn't matter at all. This whitelist is empty, so we want liquids. We want a whitelist of water, right? Just not spring, not pressurized, not slick, just water. Ta-da! And what we want to do is then create a liquid output from the system. We'll not drag that together just yet. Stay there, line. Okay, good. Now, the tank is going to be all of these, right? Run a shared command. No, we want to run it once per target, right? And the target is, we'll have it going from the top, activate, and of course we want we want a whitelist of water. So what we're saying here, I don't think there's any special connections. Yeah, that's right. What we're saying here is that once every 5 seconds, we'd like to take as much water as we can from the tank and dump it into these tanks. Pretty straightforward, right? Let's go ahead and connect this. And now it should just start running. It's running once every 5 seconds, so it's not quite clear. Let's go ahead and we will trigger this at an interval of 1 second. Normally you wouldn't do this on the server, because it's a little bit much, but let's just leave it like that for now. Let's see. It seems like maybe we're not connecting properly. Input, tanks, liquids, whitelist. So we should be taking that, and we should be outputting it to each one of these. The target, let's try all the sides. Actually, let's just put it in simple mode. Let's turn off, deactivate this. And let's just say, what's advanced mode? Oh yeah, advanced mode is like this. Kind of confused, but I think if we say simple mode, aim for the empty tank, and then whitelist that, it should just run. Aha, there we go. We got water in all these guys now. Perfect. Yeah, I think it's just the simple mode is what you got to use there because it wasn't filling up with the complex mode. Of course, it also could just be lag, right? But anyways, so there we go. Now we have constantly got an awesome supply of water into these. Next up, what we're going to want to do is handle the charcoal. For now, this is for now, we can put down a chest anywhere on this ring, and we could build more and move it out. And this stuff is, you saw, quite cheap. So it's not, it's just, it's, I guess, 2 iron per 8. Right, so 1 iron per 4. Let's go ahead and put this right here, and let's hop up and let's grab our charcoal, right? Now this is so cool. We're going to be able to grab this, and we're going to actually ask it to maintain charcoal. So let's go ahead and toss the charcoal in there. Now we can go ahead and create another one of these inputs. This one's a regular input, you'll note, not a special input. Now I think we can actually use the same, yeah, we can. And the input is an inventory, and specifically this chest, right? And the target we're going to say is, I don't know, it doesn't matter, out of the top, right? So now what we're doing is we're going to pull items, and we're going to whitelist charcoal and coal. Charcoal and coal. And just like before, we're going to create an output right here, like so. And that output is going to be these guys. We're going to run a command once per target, right? Now, actually, you know what? Maybe we could do better than that. Give me just 1 sec. All right, I'm making it too complicated on myself, folks. So all I have to do is set the target output to all the engines, run a command once per target. Top is fine. The trick here is we want to make sure to not overload the engines or shove all our fuel in one place. So for each one of these, right, what we want to do is make a whitelist and say, with a right click, specify an amount of 1. And that should be fine. And then we can, of course, go back here. How do we get out of this, though? There we go. And then right click again, specify amount of 1. So that'll try and keep 1 charcoal or coal inside every single output, which is exactly what we want. So now, if we go ahead and toss in the trigger of 1 second pulses, it looks like we can only have 1 trigger at a time. So let's go ahead and make another trigger. That's too bad that we can't fan that out. I'm surprised. Interval, let's just make it 1 second for now. We don't have to have it be 1 second, but just for the sake of testing the system, boom. Now, what'll happen is it'll start to shove coal, and you can see I already was testing it over here. It should start to shove coal into the system. Now, it might be that this output actually needs a target of, let's just go ahead and activate sides until we, there we go. The down is the side we want. And now you can see that we've got 1 charcoal in each engine. We're also making sure to keep the water topped off, which is exactly how we want to do that. So now these systems are just going to basically burn coal until they run out. We're going to waste a little bit of power in this run, but you'll notice that we haven't completely dumped all of our charcoal yet. Looks like, interesting. Where did the rest of the charcoal go? Oh, is it just burning through it so fast? Yeah, it's just burning through it so fast. That's how. But each of these guys is going to basically fill up with power, which is fine, right? These things burn through charcoal pretty dang fast. Now, of course, we need some place to actually put all that power. Folks, as you might have guessed from the invar I mentioned earlier, I've cooked up a hardened energy cell, and these. And now we're not wasting the power. Well, we're starting to. We want to make sure not to waste power if we can possibly avoid it. Turns out that these guys, by default, will only run if there is no energy cell, or rather no redstone signal. So if we were to, say, supply these with a redstone signal, I don't have a torch on me, but let's just say that, well, I could make one. Let's go ahead and make one, just to demonstrate the point. Wow, that was interesting lag. There we go. Like this, boom. All of them are disabled. Now, this torch is a pretty strong redstone signal, but that signal will decay over time. But it turns out that this effect can also be used if we pull out one of these redstone comparators. I used that nether quartz that was oh so precious. Then I go ahead and rotate it. It's like so. And then turn it to reverse. Now, it's going to output a signal proportional to how full the energy cell there is. So, oh no, the more power we have in there, the better off we'll be. Now, it's not going to be a perfect system right now because we have a rather small setup. We've been rather resource constrained. But as time goes on, we'll be able to actually extend this out. I'll just knock down the wall. I don't have to keep the hexagon motif underground. Or maybe I'll figure out some other way to do it that's clever. But you can see that we'll just be able to keep going. And as this gets lower, it will first turn back on these engines. I don't know where we're draining the power to, but we are. That's a bummer. We'll turn back on these engines, and then we'll turn back on these engines. So it will intelligently burn power. So you can see how the power falls off. Look at the Wila up top. Yeah, so I need to obviously cook up a few more of these conduits because I want to run this up to the power up there. But now we have an energy cell, and we have a flexible power source, and we use Steve's factory manager to do it. I just love this setup. I think it's super cool. It's super easy. It's a really elegant system. I thought of it, but I also saw that it was on Reddit, so I didn't invent it. I mean, this is an obvious build. With that, folks, we'll have to leave the actual building of the fuel. We can use some of this power to make a lot of fuel. We'll have to save that for the next episode. Please leave a like or subscribe, or even better yet, a comment. Just come talk to me. Tell me what you'd like to see. I love hearing from you guys more than anything else. That said, likes and subscribes are pretty important too, if only for gauging the health of my channel. So please do that as well. And folks, I hope to see you next time.